Morning biologists, in today's lesson we are going to look at non-specific immune responses. So that is things like how blood clots and such forth. We will look through the different chemicals involved and the different substances that are produced within the body.
A non-specific immune response cell is an immune cell such as a macrophage, neutrophil or dendritic cell that responds to an antigen, not just to one type of antigen but many antigens. The cells of the innate immune system do not have specific responses and do not respond to each foreign invader using the same mechanism. There are some physical barriers, so these things are such as skin, gastrointestinal tract, the respiratory tract, eyelashes or body hair that stop pathogens from getting in. There are other defense mechanisms such as secretions, mucus, bile, gastric acid, tears, saliva and sweat, which will help go and kill or break down pathogens before they can cause any damage. And there are general immune responses, so these are things such as inflammation, other non-specific cellular responses. The inflammatory response will go and attract other immune cells towards that area. It will also go and slow down how quickly a pathogen can replicate. One of the other main types of non-specific immune response is blood clotting. So a blood clot is a thickened mass of blood that forms by tiny substances called platelets going and clotting together, so sticking together. So blood clotting works in a very specific manner. So the coagulation cascade is a complex chemical process that uses as many as 10 different proteins, so these are called blood clotting factors or coagulation factors, found in the plasma in the blood. Put it simply, the clotting process changes the blood from being a liquid to a solid at the site of injury. So the first thing to consider is we start off with a small tear in the blood vessel wall, for example, so that can be a cut or something like that that causes bleeding. This causes the vessel to constrict, thereby narrowing and constricting and limiting the blood flow through that vessel, so excess blood isn't lost. Next thing to happen is that a platelet plug needs to form. So in response to the injury, tiny cells in the blood called platelets are activated. These platelets stick to one another and to the wound site to form a plug. Next thing is that a fibrin clot needs to form. So clotting factor proteins trigger the production of fibrin, which is a strong strand-like substance that forms a fibrin clot. So this is a mesh-like net that keeps the plug firm and stable and in place. Over the next several days to weeks, the clot strengthens and dissolves once the blood vessel wall has healed itself and repaired. So the physical process is that we start off with damaged tissue, so platelets are activated. Then thrombin is released. Calcium ions aid in the production of thrombin. Prothrombin, found in the blood, is activated. So thrombin catalyzes fibrin to turn in, or fibrinogen to turn into fibrin, and the fibrin forms the blood clot. So two other main chemicals that can be released are histamine and cytokines. So histamine is a compound which is released by cells in response to injury and in allergic inflammatory reactions, causing the contraction of smooth muscle and the dilation of capillaries. Cytokines are any number of substances which include interferon, interleukin and growth factors, which are secreted by certain cells of the immune system. So, if we think about the question, histamine release can cause an allergic reaction, the contraction of capillaries, or the dilation of capillaries, or a combination of those. Just go have a think about how you would answer that question, then continue with the video. So another type of non-specific response is a fever. So normal body temperature is around 37.5 degrees, right, and is maintained by the hypothalamus. When a pathogen invades your body, cytokines stimulate your hypothalamus to reset its thermostat and your temperature goes up. So most pathogens reproduce best at below 37 degrees, so higher temperatures inhibit the production or reproduction of those pathogens. The specific immune response also works better at higher temperatures. Opsins can be produced. So opsins are chemicals that bind pathogens and tag them, so they're more easily recognised by phagocytes. So an example of an opsin might be an antibody. Cytokines can be produced. So cytokines, like we said, act as cell signaling molecules which can go and attract other phagocytes towards an area of inflammation. They will also go and aid with the stimulation of the specific immune response.
So hopefully that goes and summarises all the key points about non-specific immune responses. If there is anything that you are not sure about, please get in contact.